Great teams do not form by accident. Team members must effectively deal with conflict and trust one another if they're to achieve excellent results. This requires that each team member understands his or her individual motivations and those of their teammates. This series investigates tools that can help teams achieve higher levels of trust and understanding. In this episode, we explore how different conflict modes affect team dynamics in a high-stakes board meeting. Thomas-Kilmann Conflict Mode Instrument, through the ELOC lens.
Let's talk about conflict. It's one of the most misunderstood of the social dynamics. Failure to manage it can leave a company reeling from its consequences. But we're going to challenge some of your concepts surrounding conflict. While conflict is obviously made for this arena, does it have any business here? Conflict management is often a missing ingredient in organizational dynamics. First, many organizations are still under the impression that conflict is bad. Conflict exists whether it is expressed or not. Second, conflict is a necessary ingredient to a healthy, high-performing organization.
I don't get it. I thought businesses are about working together. As tough as business is these days, how can you get along with conflict? I will break you. Let's go.
Conflict is what allows people to work together.
You guys might be more insane than I am.
Yeah, well, we'll see. While there are several models that address conflict, we'll focus on our experience using the TKI assessment along with TKI's Introduction to Conflict Management, improving performance using the TKI. The assessment provides a profile on your preferences when dealing with conflict. The Introduction to Conflict Management booklet then helps you understand how to use different conflict handling modes effectively. Meet Tracy. She's the head of research and development for Rock Your Socks Off Sock Company, a leading developer in athletic sock design.
Hello.
Hi, Jane. This is Tracy from Rock Your Socks Off Company.
Hey, Tracy. What's the good word?
Well, I don't know yet. I'm getting ready to leave to go to this executive board meeting now. I have about 30 minutes before I need to be there, but before I pull out of the office, I just wanted to call you. I don't see any problems or anything though, but the reason I called was I need your reassurance that you're going to be my supplier for this fabric at the price point that we talked about. So I need that ammunition for the room today.
Okay. Tracy, I want nothing more than to do that for you, but I'm in a pinch with my boss. Another manufacturer is competing for our commitment. We can't handle supply for you both. You come back with a yes from your executive team today, and we'll do it.
All right. Thanks, Jane, but don't worry. You know me. When I enter the ring, I'm in it to win it.
Crush 'em, girl.
All right. Thanks. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I get it. It's competitive, right? And that's what business is about. Whoever has the best idea wins, right? So if that's all conflict is, what's all the fuss about?
Conflict is when the needs of two people seem to be incompatible when addressing an issue. Those needs may take the form of being able to communicate differing points of view or being able to communicate concern, or satisfying requirements within a person's role. It is not about fighting.
Okay, I'll bite. So how do the TKI conflict modes work?
TKI presents 5 modes of handling conflict: competing, avoiding, accommodating, compromising, and collaborating. Each of these modes has a useful purpose in any given situation. None of the 5 modes are inherently good or bad, and overuse or underuse of any of them can have unintended and costly outcomes. While the assessment shows what you're most comfortable with, it's important not to be a one-trick pony. The point is to remain focused on what is required in the present situation and be cognizant of your own choice of mode when addressing the issue at hand. Tracy's TKI profile, for instance, shows that she most frequently uses the competing mode when she is in conflict. As the head of research and development, Tracy finds competing a necessary quality for achieving creative solutions and advocating new ideas. So far, it has served her well, although lately it has been alarming no one on the executive team is willing to challenge her. Tracy likes winning, but she also wants to ensure the company is moving in the right direction. While competing can be important in standing up for what's right and in protecting the company, its overuse can discourage others from sharing differing opinions. When your idea is the only one on the table, you'd better be right. On the other hand, underuse of competing can leave you with little influence or effectiveness, as others may not trust you to take a stand when necessary. This variability is why we believe the modes are neither inherently good nor bad. It simply depends on what the situation requires. A person's conflict behavior tends to follow one of 2 directions: assertiveness, satisfying their own needs, or cooperativeness, satisfying the other person's needs. Each of the 5 TKI modes, then, is an expression of the extent a person will try to satisfy their own needs versus the other person's. TKI uses this matrix as a visual representation of how much satisfaction you are after for your own needs and how much you're willing to allow other people to satisfy their needs. Competing is the mode used when a person is trying to satisfy all of their needs and none of the other person's. A person using competing is trying to win a position and will pursue his or her concerns at the cost of another. That's why it's referred to as a win-lose approach. Competing is highly assertive and low in cooperation. Accommodating, on the other hand, is when a person neglects their own needs in order to satisfy another's. While these 2 modes can be seen as polar opposites, they are actually similar in that neither of them allow but one person's needs to be met. The only difference is whose. Meet Brad. Brad's TKI profile shows that he prefers accommodating when faced with conflict. Brad is head of sales, and he has consistently been successful by placing the needs of others before his own. This makes him popular with buyers.
Hey Tracy, how are you? Hey, I'm good. Good, it's good to see you. Good. How's the drive in? Let me take that for you. Good? We go right back in here.
Recently, the CEO called attention to Brad's constant bowing down to other points of view. She has pointed out he was brought onto the team to provide an important perspective, not fade into the background. She believes too much accommodating can diminish his influence and effectiveness. Accommodating is often given a positive light. "He's so accommodating" is a comment of flattery. It can be used to build cooperation, keep the peace, learn from others, and encourage decision-making. A common use for accommodating is to show goodwill on an issue that you don't find important, but the other person does. It can also be used to end damaging competition when you're losing the battle. On the contrary, too much accommodating can leave you ineffectual. If you consistently acquiesce to others' needs, your organization loses the benefit of your individual contributions.
Okay, you guys, we've got a lot on deck today. I'd like to get us started.
It's important to remember both competing and accommodating are win-lose propositions. Competing is all assertiveness and no cooperation. Accommodation is all cooperation and no assertiveness. There will be appropriate times to use either mode, so stay focused on what is required in the present situation and be cognizant of which mode you are using.
Okay, so I see how this is shaping up. You've got a head of R&D who drives a hard bargain, you've got a sales guy who wants to appease everyone. So who else is in the mix?
Let's see if you can figure it out as we watch each of the players in their natural habitat.
All right, you guys, this is a really important meeting for our team. We've got to get moving on getting some new products into the market. And Tracy's going to help us here, but I just want to start out by reminding everybody how critical it is that we all act together as a team. None of us can do this alone. It's each of our individual responsibility to make sure we get new products to market in a hurry with excellence.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Pam. So, with the company Rock Your Socks Off, we have display out here. We are a company of innovation, and with our company last year, we developed these futuristic fabric socks that they would change colors with the moods that you're in. So it's pretty cool. We did really well with it. This was a really hot product last year. But because we're a company of innovation, we decided to take our futuristic material further and make them foot fan socks. So with these socks, they're going to have a fan and propeller on them. Not only do they keep your feet cool, they're also going to keep your feet very dry.
The competitor moves to a perch where she can look for any signs of a challenge. She makes her pitch with the bravado that comes from early success, thriving on a cocksure attitude. She argues from the data toward a foregone conclusion that she will win. But what's happening around the room? Daryl, the chief financial officer, seems distracted and a bit stressed. Pam, the CEO, is obviously practicing her active listening skills. Tara, the head of marketing strategies, is at least taking notes, but she hardly looks up. And there's Brad being very accommodating. The competitor is oblivious to the danger lurking underneath even as she commands the room.
Is it risky? Yes, it's very risky. Is it going to cost a lot on the financial side of it? Yeah, probably will. But just remember, our sales plateaued last year. And because of that, we need to figure something else out. We need to be a company of innovation, right? And with that said, with being a company of innovation, I think we're just going to spearhead this. This is going to be great.
Wow, that's a little different than I thought, but thank you, Tracy. Does anybody here have any questions about this new product?
I just got one thing, Pam. So the technology is risky. I mean, hopefully that's obvious to everybody here, right? My big concern though is this massive amount of investment that I see going into both R&D and in marketing on this product when we have plateauing sales projections throughout. You know, maybe we can run some more data. I'd like to see some simulations on return on investment. I don't know.
But Daryl, remember this. We are a leading company. We're one of the top leading sock companies. I've ran the numbers already. Let's just spearhead this and do it. This is going to be a really hot product. Or should I say cool?
Okay, let me guess. You avoid it, right? So that doesn't sound so bad, it sounds prudent.
Avoiding is neither cooperative nor assertive. It is a lose-lose proposition. Basically, it is you stepping aside to avoid the issue at hand. Interestingly, Daryl's preferred method of dealing with conflict is collaboration, though recently he has moved to quickly table complex issues and risk inherent decisions. One of the telltale signs you might be underusing this mode is if you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. You simply do not have the time to address all the issues at hand. Using avoiding in the right way can help you prioritize and focus on developing others through delegation. On the other hand, its overuse can leave important issues that need a decision unaddressed.
Okay, team, so I think we heard the pitch. Daryl, what's your position on this?
Look, I'm still a little concerned about the amount of investment against our sales projections. I know that you said we've run the numbers, Tracy, but I just really think we need to take another look at that. I mean, this is not the way that I would go, Pam, but I mean, ultimately, it's up to you.
Wow, this is a slippery one. Daryl just moved from avoiding to accommodating without batting an eye.
Well, you know, we're going to have to come together on this. So I guess we're going to have to continue on to explore what it means for us and where we want to go, because we're going to be together on this. Okay. Brad, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, you know, Tracy's the expert here, so I guess, I mean, no, I'm in. I'm in.
You're in.
She's the expert.
Tara, what's your position?
So here's my thing. Daryl, you are, according to my notes, concerned about the investment. Tracy, you just need money for the project. Can we split and go to a middle ground and just split the overall investment dollars?
Okay, good, I get it. She's a compromiser, right? That's a good strategy in business.
Maybe yes, maybe no.
How so?
Compromising intends to satisfy both persons' needs to varying extents. Compromising is a win-lose proposition because it only intends to partially satisfy both people's needs. Collaborating is characterized by seizing an opportunity to quickly find the middle ground. It also represents the middle ground between assertiveness and cooperativeness. Compromising can be useful when a more assertive mode is causing problems. If other modes lead to an impasse, compromising can be seen as fair negotiation and can bolster your influence and effectiveness in the organization. The issue may be so complicated that a temporary solution is needed just to keep things moving forward, or suspense states require a quick solution. Overuse of negotiating and seeking a quick solution, conversely, can cause you to minimize important values or lose the vision of the organization. Its overuse can also create a climate, if not a culture, where bargaining is not only expected, it is demanded. Underuse is a concern as well. Not having a comfort level with this mode can cause you to miss out on your or the organization's fair share in negotiations. Without compromising in your toolbox, you can find yourself stuck in win-lose battles that do not address your needs and minimize your effectiveness. So, looks like there's no opposition to Tracy's competitive pitch on the new product.
Okay, so that's it? That's the conflict? I don't get what all the hubbub was about, buddy. Seems like an easy win to me.
Maybe it was an easy win. Nevertheless, conflict exists whether it is expressed or not. Remember, it's not about fighting. Is this what we wanted? Is it what we needed? Did the issue really get addressed? Did people's individual needs get met?
Okay, so that means there's supposed to be a collaborator, right? It's got to be the CEO. She's not just going to roll over and take that, right?
All right, you guys. We're going to have to do something different. I just can't go on allowing us to act like nothing's going on. There's a huge conflict here in the room, and we're not dealing with it. That's not okay. I really don't mean to embarrass anybody. So that's not what this is about. But Brad, I got to put you on point here. How do you really feel about this?
I do have some concerns.
You do?
Yes.
Well, great. I want to hear. The team needs to hear what your concerns are. We've got to get that out on the table so we can deal with the issue, so we can take the best possible product to market. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Okay, well...
Collaboration is the only win-win proposition. It intends to satisfy both people's needs, but also because it encourages each person to commit more deeply to addressing the issue at hand. Collaborating represents both assertiveness and cooperativeness. Using this mode of conflict, you and the other person are working equally to find an alternative solution that fully satisfies both your needs.
So Daryl, what about you? Are you comfortable with this interim or quick fix that Tara suggested?
Not really.
Okay then, you guys, we're going to have to talk about this.
By using collaboration, Pam is increasing value. In any given conflict, it's beneficial to decide how much joint satisfaction you aim to achieve for each side.
Okay, you guys, it wasn't easy, but I feel like we landed in a pretty good place. I think we're ready to move forward and see how high we can go with this new product. So thank you, everybody, for making this really work. I know it wasn't comfortable all the way, but we landed in a great place.
Creating more value takes time and effort, but the rewards can be outstanding. Collaboration is often described as, you deeply care about X, I deeply care about Y. How can we achieve both? This approach requires delving into the issue at hand to get at the underlying concerns and values represented by both sides. Overuse can be evident when excessive time is spent on issues not requiring ample debate or always seeking the ideal solution. However, collaboration, by and large, produces high-quality decisions and increases both learning and commitment. So for you and your organization, what are the takeaways to consider for utilizing conflict management in your day-to-day operations? First, consider that conflict exists, whether it is expressed or not. Having an established expectation of healthy conflict management is one step that you can take to move your organization towards better performance. Conflict is what allows people to work together. As each person works to satisfy the requirements of their role within the organization, it naturally creates alternate points of view and different needs. Being able to communicate those needs is a critical part of team members being able to do their job for the organization. Without a system in place to address needs in a constructive way, or when conflict is ignored, performance is hampered, outcomes are less robust, and the organization is less resilient. When the needs of two people seem to be incompatible, each person should consider how much satisfaction they're after for their own needs and how much they're willing to allow the other person to satisfy theirs. By understanding the 5 modes of conflict management, each person can become more aware of the extent he or she is trying to satisfy their own needs versus others, and to what degree each need serves the organization. Through proper conflict management, the issue can become fully expressed as all points of view are on the table. Thanks for looking at conflict management and the Thomas-Kilmann instrument through the ELOC lens. We hope this provided you insight to a valuable tool that can move your organization toward better teamwork and better performance. If you're interested in having your team complete the TKI assessment, please visit the CPP website for details.